Hello everybody, welcome to the finale of Marko's Magic Football. Level 14, the Toy Factory.
We are not evil, get it? It's a toy factory.
Jesus!
Are you sure this is a toy factory? Or is it one of them traps?
Well, the music suggests.
Or is it one of them traps?
Oh, come on, Dwibs, you're so judgmental. I mean, come on, look at this. The architect how do you know the architect was just feeling random that day?
I wonder if Bo Welk designed these actually.
Can you imagine one of the toy suppliers coming in to visit the factory, like, interesting facilities I got here.
Hey John, how's been your day? I'm what a pain. I got roasted by the flamethrower.
Yeah, story of my life.
And there's even curtains in the background, green curtains. I don't.
Was
this place designed by the Joker?
You think that's bad? Today I got blasted up the ass with green ooze.
Anyway, yeah, this.
Considering the green Pedro, it's more likely the Riddler than anything.
Yeah. So we're in Batman Forever.
No, I got it. The Riddler and the Joker worked together.
Ah, Geppetto! No, evil Geppetto!
What the fuck?
Sorry, Teo. I guess Pinocchio died, and Geppetto decided to turn evil.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there's a situation where something like this happened.
Yeah, I've read the actual book. I know how dark it gets.
No, but I don't mean the actual book. I mean another stuff.
Well, actually, Teo, question. Speaking of that, have you seen? Okay. First of all, I know you're familiar with it. That horrible live action adaptation. Not the one with Bob Hoskins. I actually like that one. The one that's made by. Yeah. What the fuck was up with that?
Benigni is smoking too much pot, probably.
Basically, Dwibs, this is a Pinocchio adaptation where Pinocchio is played by a man. An adult man.
Not just that, like a 50-year-old man.
And the overall way it's done, it's more creepy than charming. I know it's Pinocchio and Pinocchio is supposed to be dark, but that movie wasn't even dark. It was just it was just uncomfortable to watch.
When you say that, do you mean this one?
Let me check.
The Adventures of Pinocchio. No. That's the Bob Hoskins movie. The Bob Hoskins movie was actually fine.
Okay.
No, don't worry. I'll check. I'll check myself and tell
this
you.
one. This one was actually pretty good in terms of faithfulness. It did it kept the basic structure of the Disney movie, but it also, I mean, the live action element of it allowed for more dark imagery. That was more reminiscent of the book.
I think I found it. Do you mean?
I mean, honestly, Theo, I know you're not a fan of the Disney movie, but even the Disney movie at least did a better job representing.
This one, Waves.
Yeah, that one. God, that movie sucked.
Jesus, what is it with 2002 and having some of the shittiest movies you can think of?
I mean, I know you're not a fan. I know you're not a fan of the Disney movie, Theo, but even you have to admit that this movie was at least more of a better representation of the book than this.
Again, Pedro, you could call me a bit of extreme on this, but I think Pinocchio is a thing that shouldn't have any kind of adaptation to begin with.
There have been good ones. Have you seen the anime adaptation?
No, not that. In general, I mean, if it's ever good or not, it's a story that doesn't deserve an adaptation.
Oh, you don't like like the book?
No, but Italy culture and literature have so much, countless much better stories that should be represented instead of that one.
My guess is, the thing that's the curse, I guess. Disney, in particular, loved Pinocchio, and because of the popularity of that movie.
Another live action.
Because of
film also.
Because of the popularity of the Disney movie, Pinocchio became the most famous Italian children's book.
I know.
Let's mention Disney making another live action Pinocchio movie.
I actually think, I mean, and I'm not even talking about the Disney movie. I'm talking about the book itself. I think the book is actually a really good story. I mean, maybe you can, of course, tell me that there are much better Italian books, sure, and I'll believe you. But I still think there's a good reason why that story became so iconic. It is a good timeless story that can be relatable to anyone. So
Well, What? Okay, I do have one question there regarding Disney movies.
Go ahead.
Yes, tell me.
Why are Disney making? Why are Disney doing? Why are Disney bothering with a live-action Peter Pan movie? Did they not see how badly Pan did at the box office?
Honestly,
Maybe they can do better.
honestly, Dwebs, I'm gonna have to agree with. I'm gonna have to go with what Theo just said. Like, honestly, considering how bad the 2003 movie was, I know some people like it, but I didn't like it. And considering, don't get me wrong, Hook had good intentions, but the execution.
And good humor.
Yeah, no. Okay. Now, if there's one thing I'll definitely love about Hook is the humor. Dustin Hoffman and Bob Hoskins are fucking gold in that movie. You will never hear me say anything otherwise. But Hook, the problem with Hook is that it's very tonally inconsistent, and it has those problems of Spielberg trying to be, even Doug pointed this out in his review, forcibly whimsical. Like there's a moment
Not
where
just that, there are also a couple of plot holes and a lot of stuff that happened on screen that's just narrated like in 5 minutes.
There's an entire moment where we reveal the backstory of how Peter Pan became Peter Pan, and it's incredibly rushed and not at all thought out. It opens more questions than answers.
Where it literally just tells and doesn't show.
Oh wait, I just
Evil Geppetto again.
There's a connection now, actually.
Go ahead.
What?
You know, Hook and Pan both have characters. Both have the last names of characters as the title, and both films are considered. And both films at least have someone saying it's a bit dodgy.
Mm-hmm. There's never been, anyway. There's the thing about Disney making a live-action Peter Pan. There is yet to be a truly all-around good Peter Pan live-action movie. At least to my knowledge. I haven't seen
Peter Pan 2003 myself.
The problem with that movie is that I have no idea what the fuck they were. Basically, it was okay. You know how have you seen the Disney movie?
No.
Okay, basically, really? one of the things about Peter Pan is that he at the beginning of the story he doesn't know what a kiss is, you know, and I guess in a kind of and I guess in a way to it depends on what interpretation you're watching, but in order to give him at least some physical thing to point at when it comes to the word kiss, Wendy points towards a thimble. But later, by the time the story is over, Peter Pan does learn exactly what a kiss is, even though he will always associate it with the film. Basically, it's symbolism. Trust me, it will make a lot more sense when you actually see the movie. But here's how they do it in the 2003 movie. In the 2003 movie, they do this thing where Wendy has this thing on her face. Oh, she has a kiss on her face, and I'm like, what? She has to give a kiss to someone. They don't say kiss of true love, but they say she has to. That's a kiss she has to give. And then they have this scene where Peter Pan is almost dead or something, and she gives him a kiss, which revives him or some shit. It's and doesn't even do the thimble thing. It's the whole kiss thing in the 2003 movie is weird and fucked up, really.
No, the page. I got a theory for that.
Go ahead.
Maybe P.J. Hogan, who directed and co-wrote that movie, maybe he hated thimbles or something. I decided not to include them. I
mean, I can understand why someone would think that thimble symbolism is stupid. I can understand that, but you're not. Trust me, I don't think anyone will say that this is better. The woman, they look at her face and go, "Oh, she has a kiss in her face." What? What? How does it? What? She had... Whatever.
Okay. Another thing. What do you think's the... Okay, just saying the name of the movie, because we want to get on with this.
Do we know, by the way, who's writing the...
What's your favourite and least favourite Peter Pan movie?
My favourite Peter Pan movie is a Disney one. It's the one... That's the only... the Disney animation movie is the best Peter Pan feature-length movie that I've seen to this day.
And your least favorite?
It's the only one that actually feels like it was actually properly written, with a good story. Like it's a good story with great characters, great humor. Like Doug pointed out in his December review of that movie, the slapstick comedy and the comedy timing of the animation in Disney's Peter Pan is amazing.
And what's your least favorite one?
Definitely the 2003 one. I mean, even Hook for his...
Wow,
well,
you're saying it's better than, saying it's worse than Pan.
At least Pan... I mean, yeah, Pan was...
Well, with Pan we could make fun of it.
Seriously, I mean, I could at least have... Pan was at least trying something interesting with the story. It just executed horribly. Whereas
Jason fucked it up.
the 2003 movie... just Disney'd it up. And I know it's weird because there's a Disney version, but it felt more Disney than the Disney version.
And it's not Disney. It's amazing.
Alright.
But anyway, let's get back to this, otherwise we'll, at this rate...
Well, we're just climbing the Tower of Doom.
Yeah, at this rate, if we keep going, we'll start singing Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I don't. Well, you won't hear that song from my mouth because I hate that song. Oh, someone who doesn't like Nirvana.
And also, we can practice the traditional Neverland shanty of Blitzkrieg Bop.
What?
Yeah. Joe Wright's kind of messed up. A little bit. At least when it comes to
music. Wrong in his head.
At least it comes to music choices.
In fact, actually, that's a question that I never asked you, Teo. Considering you're a huge fan of 80s music like me, I'm guessing you, considering what the impact they had and the destruction of it, I'm guessing you're probably not that keen in Nirvana either.
I haven't listened to them a lot.
Well, yeah, I know, Teo. But knowing you, because you tend, the fact that the success of one thing was the end of something that you love is enough to make you hate that thing, even if it's not exactly bad on its own. So I'm guessing you're not keen on...
Well, here's the thing, Pedro. I probably would have felt this more if I actually lived in that time period, but being born in the early 90s and having started caring about it only in the early 2000s, gives a bit of a retrospective.
Yeah, for me it's weird. For me it's different because when I grew up on 80s music, because my dad does a lot of old records.
Like if I hated...
Evil Geppetto again!
So he killed Pope.
Kill it!
And by the way, you're probably asking what he does. He throws wooden hammers at me.
Wow.
Oh.
Why does he look like a golf player?
A Pokemon Go player?
No, golf.
Oh, a golf player. Well, again, Teo, this is what happened. After Pinocchio disappeared, Geppetto decided to become a golfer, except golfing doesn't pay the bills, so he also has to work for Colonel Brown by guarding his Tower of Doom. Poor Geppetto.
What happens if you get 100 stars?
An extra life.
Yeah, classic logic, classic video game logic.
And pick up the star.
There we go.
Cool.
Alright, and now, final boss time. Yes, we're gonna fight Colonel Brown now.
Yay!
Ooh.
And they give us 2 hearts. Alright.
In order to get prepared.
Here we go.
Eventually. There you
go.
So there are a grand total of 2 bosses in the game.
I'm sure there have been a few games that have had like not many bosses,
there's Colonel Brown.
Oh, there he is. He's having a...
Basically, he's equipped with 2 things. A sludge gunshot and a sludge jetpack.
Okay.
So basically, here's how I usually defeat this guy. The guy is incredibly hard to beat if you try to tackle him head on because he's always shooting at you. It's incredibly easy to get hit. So here's what I usually do. I just stick around in this place and wait for him to come here.
Alright.
Hey, where did he go? Where are these footballs coming from?
There, now he's walking backwards, so I do this.
Fight the mad scientist who created the sludge.
No. Well, to be fair, it's not like he's, how do you exactly make that guy a boss? I mean, he's just a...
Well, classic mad scientist logic, having been piloting a mecha.
Or even better, Teo, he himself drinks the sludge and becomes a giant sludge monster.
Yeah, like Embryo in Crash Bandicoot.
Remember, Teo, this is an industry where you can have the severed head of a deceased Chinese leader be a boss.
Oh my god. Come on.
Oh, now it works.
Come on, just get here already.
In a minute, I need to drink my tea.
Oh, hold on. There's something Layton related in the new video. We'll have to watch this after we're done with this.
Yeah, sure. I'll watch it with you. But I guess Tio has to go after this.
Well, actually, this video will end in 4 minutes, so he'll still have time for at least this bit.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's my thing, though. If it's not starring Professor Layton, why are you calling it Professor Layton?
Again,
I know it's a recognizable name, but wouldn't it make more sense to call it like the Layton Chronicles?
I'm still thinking that the actual game's title will not have the word Layton in it. As of right now, they're probably just calling it a new Layton game, just to pass the message to the fans of what exactly the game is. So
maybe the game's going to be in like the Layton series' font, but not the name.
Basically,
or maybe something like Layton Legacy.
Basically, Dwebs, Layton 7 right now is a placeholder title until they come up with an actual proper title.
You know what you just done?
A lot of the.
You know what other series had a film that had Legacy at the end of its name, but it didn't star the title character? No, Born.
Okay.
So basically,
when he runs toward back, we're
going to replace Professor Layton with a character played by Jeremy Renner.
Well, actually, you'd be surprised how many developers, when they're creating some kind of new spiritual successor or some kind with a new protagonist, but that doesn't actually have the actual characters from the old series, usually they stick in a provisional title with the old name, just to pass the message to the fans that okay, it's not going to be an actual title with this guy, but we're as of right now, we're giving it this just to pass off the message at what kind of game it is before we show it. You know?
Yeah, no, that's not my problem. My problem with Born Legacy was that it sucked.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about Layton 7 specifically, but yeah. I mean, Born, I've never really been that keen on the Born movies anyway.
Yeah.
Not that they're bad. It's just that not that they're bad. It's just that I usually prefer my spy movies to be more like stuff like Skyfall and Spectre.
I'm looking forward to Jason Bourne. I'm saying that on Saturday, and that is the end of the game.
We defeated Colonel Brown, and now the tower explodes and I guess buries itself in the ground. Well, actually, no. That animation, it implies that it's drowning in sludge. I guess.
No.
I actually really like this ending theme. This is so comic book style of vignette.
Yeah.
And Colonel Brown escapes in his jetpack with a sign saying "The End?" Question mark. As in, we're planning a sequel, but we still don't know if there will be happen because we don't know if this game will sell enough, and unfortunately it didn't.
Yeah, sorry. It's definitely the end.
Alright, just go ahead.
The factory had been destroyed and North Darlington was now safe. Marko had saved the day. But the Colonel had escaped, taking with him a large "The End" sign. It would not be hard to find this menacing logo attached to his back.
Yeah.
And so Marko paused for a few moments to consider the future exploits of Colonel Brown, before having a great game of football with his friends.
Awesome.
I love the game even made fun of that. He carried a giant "The End" thing on his back.
Alright, so that was Marko's Magic Football. Go ahead.
Because I got a burp. Yeah, it looks fun. I might get this game if I can find it a physical copy for my Mega Drive. I know it's unlikely, but the guy who did the music also did the backgrounds and the sound effects. Anyway, fun looking game.
It looks gorgeous, even to this day. Right?
All right. Can I go?
Yeah, I'm gonna burp.
All right. Why don't you go ahead too?
All right. Yeah, it's fun. As I mentioned, it's very creative in what it does for a platformer, and it uses these things to its advantage, taking advantage to both axes, both X and Y. And yeah, again, the graphics are really impressive, even for a Sega Genesis Mega Drive game. I mean, for a 16-bit console, even this is really amazing. I'm pretty sure even the SNES couldn't be this faithful. Like, they probably could have, but it would take a lot of time. So for a relatively early Sega Genesis Mega Drive game, really impressive. It's a shame it's rather short, as I can see, and it never spawned a real sequel. So, well, but it's fun for what it is.
Yeah, it is a shame because I could see a lot of potential in a sequel, actually. This could have they could have added in more football moves, or maybe there's
or something like that.
Yeah, there's like a bajillion different things you could explore with this concept. Like it's a shame that I mean, it's kind of obvious from this ending that they were hoping maybe there would be a sequel, but sadly that never came to be because barely any people even knew that this game existed. I found it completely by accident. But yeah, final thoughts. Yeah, I love this game. It's even still to this day. It's not perfect. It does have some. It does have some things. Like you didn't come across in my playthrough because I edited out a lot of depths. But the second to last level, the forest, is really hard as balls because there's a lot of shit thrown at you. But they could have the difficulty on that level was not that balanced. But aside from that, yeah, it's really fun, really creative, and the music is really catchy. And like Theo said, the graphics are incredibly impressive. Like this looks like a game made by. This looks like a modern side-scroller game today by Way Forward. It looks that good. The character animation is so fluid. You can tell that the creators put their heart and soul into this. So yeah, if you were looking for weird and unique ROMs to play on your Mega Drive emulator, try this game out. It's definitely worth it. If anything, there's nothing quite like it. I can at least guarantee you that. And it has a surprising sense of humor about itself, especially with this ending, where they're like, oh, and the escape of a menacing logo. Even hard to find, I think. All right, see you then, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.